Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
For sure.
Okay, so speaking of analytics, James Harden, this game he was we mentioned already his assists, 2 assists, and how many people, but he was also 2 of 8 and 0 for 6 from three. In the second half of the series, these are some numbers from him. He played 17 minutes on average in the second half of every game. He had 5 points, 1.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 1.5 turnovers. He shot 24% from the field and 8% from the three. Why do people keep falling for this James Harden stuff?
It's like the greatest question of you just get stuck in the numbers.
That's
And
it.
it's
That's all it
it's just
is.
like, to James Harden's credit, I think he, like, in his prime, mastered like modern basketball.
Mm.
And he's, like, the gather step, the step back, the pocket pass, like, he's a really good passer. There's things he does really good, but just like his demeanor, I think is what would do it for me. Of like, the dude doesn't want the ball like in big moments. Like, he wants the ball the whole game until it like matters, which you think would be the opposite. And at this point, I don't know why, like, you're the Cavs that you traded for James Harden. Like, I get why maybe you wanted to get off Garland and maybe you didn't think that was going to work, but I don't know how you talk yourself into James Harden, even in the East.
Yeah.
Right? Like, okay, cool. Like, as I said before, you traded for James Harden and like struggled to beat the Toronto Raptors and the Detroit Pistons,
Hmm.
with teams that, in theory, either the Pistons were the number one seed, but teams in theory, if James Harden and the Cavs are who they thought they were going to be, those should be like 5 or 6 game series.
Right.
They went to 7 and was a dogfight. To me, he just doesn't have the it. He's the it that you want out of a superstar, and he's a really good basketball player, just not my cup of tea. And it's amazing, like you said, how many cups of tea he seems to be to general managers.
Yeah, and not only that, but like even some fans just go to die for him, and it's just like I don't quite get it. Like I watch the games. You don't just go based off stats, but you watch the games, and you're just like, after he left the Rockets, he went to Brooklyn, and how did that wind up? Okay, he was supposed to save Philadelphia and Embiid. How did that wind up? Then they go to the Clippers, like, oh, he's going to help Paul George and Kawhi get a title. How did that wind up? Right? Like, and then now he gets it's like it's hasn't worked, and it's part of it is because in the biggest moments he doesn't show up, but you build your entire system around him. So if he doesn't show up in the big moments, like he says in that press conference when he went to the Clippers, I am the system. Okay, well, if you're the system and you don't show up, this is what happens. Like you're just going to get swept. You're not going to get like it's easy to guard. And so like in moments where you actually need someone else to take the reins for a bit, they're not used to it because you've been dribbling the air out of the ball for 82 games. So now you're like, hey, could you kind of take over from here? It's like, dude, are you kidding me? This is not, you're the system. So I just think it's not a way of winning basketball. It's cool to get numbers if you're, and Harden, like you said, he's good at what he does, but it's a way to get numbers. It makes you look good in moments, but really, I don't know if it really helps your team gets to where it's going, the finals. I just like he got close that one year. He needed Chris Paul to come in and help. I don't know. That's sort of like how I feel about it. I don't get it.
I think it comes down to coachability too.
Yeah,
He's
true.
like one of the few stars left, um, that just doesn't seem coachable.
Hmm.
And by coachable, I mean, like, he never did anything off the ball. No one
Correct.
could ever. And you mentioned with Chris Paul, right? Like, why did it not work? Because Chris Paul kind of got sick of it and wanted to switch things up. James Harden doesn't want to do that.
Right.
Same with Dwight Howard. It worked perfect, but Dwight Howard wanted a few other things. James Harden was like, nope,
Yeah.
out he went. The Nets thing was kind of just a mess anyhow with Kyrie, but same thing. He's like, I want the ball or I'm going to go home.
Right.
And I think that should be the red flag after like that stretch in Houston where it started kind of flattening is
Yeah.
like, this dude is never going to change. It doesn't
Right.
matter where you put him. And that's fine. Like you said, he's going to go down as one of the all-time greats with all of these stats,
Yep.
but he's not going to be, he's going to be remembered as the dude that never showed up in the playoffs. And he's going to have an awesome Instagram package 20 years from now. We're going to be like, dude never won because he just wanted to do his thing. And it goes to like Donovan Mitchell supposedly wanted to play with him because I think they what James Harden can do is kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know, if you're into like the basketball ecosystem and you see like his dribbles, his passes, the step back, you're like, oh, he's so skilled. Same with like Kyrie. Like guys love Kyrie, and you're like, I mean, I don't know. Kyrie has done nothing unless he had LeBron. Otherwise, there's never even close.
Yeah.
And I think for Harden, I mean, if Harden went and played with LeBron, he might have got to the finals, but I don't think Harden would ever want to play with LeBron.
Right, but yeah, and to be at least fair to Kyrie, he's a willing off-ball participant. Like he's willing to play off ball. Like that Harden, like even when he went to the Clippers, he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to learn to shoot off, catch, shoot, catch." Please, he did it for like 2 weeks and then he was done with that stuff. Like, come on. And that's the thing is like when you go on a team, if you're James Harden, you go on a team with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, and you're like, hey, I'm going to do this, and you're not going to do it knowing that Kawhi's on your team. You're like the second best player on the team or whatever. Kawhi's the guy. It's like, when are you going to do it? So, I just don't think. I think in an era where a lot of numbers have been inflated because of the new age of basketball offense, you're able to carry the ball, dribble, pick up your pivot foot or move your pivot foot. Can get away with a lot more on offense now. Follow baiting, selling calls, flopping, all that stuff he likes to do. He was one of the better guys at it, and he's part of the reason why the league kind of changed into that because people started to mimic it a little bit. I think Mitchell mentioned something like, "Oh, he changed the league like Michael Jordan," and it's like, well, if he did, it's not for the better like Michael Jordan. Like, if you want to make that argument, I'll listen to it, but it's not. It's not in the same way Michael Jordan changed the league, where it changed it for the better. It would probably be negative. But anyway, I just. I just don't know. I can't. Like. Let me ask you, Dwayne Wade or would you rather have Dwayne Wade or Harden?
I would rather have Wade.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think
twice. Right. Yeah. Please. I mean, it's crazy. I was just obviously Twitter's Twitter, but I saw somebody making the argument you'd rather have Harden than Wade. I'm like, please, come on. Like I didn't debate him or anything, but I'm just like, why would you ever say that? It's stupid. But anyway, okay. Anything else on Harden and his legacy?
No, what you said, I think, is a good conclusion of like how he played. I think 10 years from now, if the NBA rules kind of change back, he's going to be one of those where you watch the film and you're like, oh, what? It's kind of like we watch some of those how guys shot in the 50s, and you're like, what are we watching? You're like underhand shots and crazy stuff. I think as the game changes away, hopefully from like the excessive flopping or foul baiting stuff, I think he's just going to look back on it as like, oh, he was a product of that era and not much else.
Yeah.
Like Zach Lowe calls him the Karl Malone of guards.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's an awesome comparison because Karl Malone was kind of the same, like put up numbers, but never really showed up. I mean, he got to finals at least, but they had a good team around him. And he was obviously a more dependent player, but same thing. Like no one goes back and be like, oh, Karl Malone, like one of the greatest 5 power forwards ever. You're kind of like, there's everyone. And you're like, Karl Malone. I think that's where James Harden will end up. It'll just be a sick Instagram highlight package of some of his moves. And unfortunately, I think his passing is kind of underrated, but it doesn't offset the the stupidness that comes with having to deal with James Harden.
No, like his highlight reel is going to be pretty awesome. Let's face it. Like he has moves. The problem is if you have to watch those moves in real time, they weren't as awesome. Like highlight reels always are better. He also perfected the like hooking someone's arm. I just wonder, like you mentioned, like in 10 years, if they come out with a rule change, which I really hope they do, is like natural shooting motion. If you're not in your natural shooting motion, we're not giving you any calls. Like none, zero. Like if you're trying to draw fouls in that way, we're not calling it. Don't be stupid. Just be a man and shoot the ball. Um, uh, and then you go back and watch it and be like, wow, really? They used to call when they floundered and flipped their legs up in the air that high and 10 feet to the left and all this other stuff he did. Yeah, I think that would be kind of crazy if that ever happens.
Yeah, he'll end up like I sent you the one of the difference between like Shea and Kobe doing the pump fakes and then just like spinning into a shot opposed to just flailing into the guy. Like
Yeah.
I think as that changes 10 years from now, you'd be like, what was that about? And you'd be like, yeah, they just decided to call it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I saw that also on Twitter. It's like people are like, well, everyone's mad at Shea. Because he shoots free throws. He shot the same amount as Kobe Bryant. It's like, dude, it's not the same. Like Kobe Bryant didn't get an area to land of protection that these shooters now get. Like he actually had to like fade away. Yes, there were times where he tried to foul bait or sell a call. That's always kind of been in the league, but you got to understand it's such a drastic measure nowadays. It's unwatchable. That's the difference. It's not the amount of free throw Shea is shooting, it is how he's getting these calls. That's what is like, I guess for lack of a better term, pathetic. And Harden was the same way. Like I watched him against the Pistons and some of the stuff he did, I'm just like when he was kicking his legs out, I'm like, he's gonna hurt someone doing that one time, and then the NBA is gonna be like, okay, we should change the rule. It's like, why do we wait till that happens? But anyway, okay. Anything else about Harden and his legacy?
No, I don't think so. I just one of the more frustrating players, and it's just crazy that teams keep wanting them and thinking that it's going to be different, and it's not going to be different. And you see it every year, and it's like foolproof. And he has some decent games from time to time because he's good. But I don't know how you could be a fan after that Houston run and be like, oh, we got James Harden, now we're going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. There was that really cool rant this, I guess, announcer made. It was after one of the times, maybe last year when he got eliminated or something, about like how Daryl Morey loved him and he couldn't win, he couldn't win. And like basically he's just not a winning player. It's true. He's just not a winning player at this point. Okay. Well, let's go to our last topic then of this. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.